Here's how I lost over 30 pounds and got abs at the same time, so you can just copy me. This is what I used to look like. I was fat, unmotivated, and had like no confidence whatsoever. And this is what I look like right now. I'm lean, I have so much more confidence, and I actually like what I see in the mirror. Alright, that's enough talking, so let's get straight to it. Step number 1, find your reason why. Before I started getting in shape, I was so bad with consistency, just in general in my life. I did good for about 2 weeks or so, and then I would just end up quitting. And then I did good for about 2 weeks, and then I would quit again. And I was in this painful cycle for months and months and months. I remember always thinking to myself, why is this happening to me? Like, why can't I just do the work that is necessary to actually improve myself? That's when I realized the actual problem. I didn't have a strong reason why I wanted to change in the first place. At the time, I just wanted to look good for the sake of looking good. But that is not a strong reason why. So of course I was struggling with my consistency. So what I did instead was to take some time for myself and actually think about this. Why do I want to change myself in the first place? And I had to dig deep about this, and it was painful, but eventually I did figure out my actual reasons why I wanted to change. I wanted to be more confident, I wanted to get more attention from girls, and I wanted to be happy with what I saw in the mirror. And all these reasons, they mattered so much to me because they were missing when I was younger. These were the honest reasons why I wanted to change myself. And once I figured this out, everything became so much easier, especially my consistency. Because I have this goal that I'm aiming towards, instead of just doing it blindly and for the sake of doing it, without having any purpose behind it. So my actionable step for you is to do the exact same thing like I did. Take some time for yourself and really think about this. Be honest with yourself, no matter if it's painful or not, because where the pain is, that's where the growth is happening. And you don't have to tell anyone about your own personal reasons why you're gonna do it. Just write it down on a piece of paper or in the notes on your phone to constantly remind yourself of why you're gonna do this. Now, if you want my personal help with getting more confident and getting a body that you actually feel proud of, then just click the first link in the description. Step number 2, prioritize health over pleasure. Now, what does this even mean? Prioritizing your health over pleasure. What it means is that you make a conscious effort to actually improve yourself. And what I mean specifically with health over pleasure, I mean that you improve your eating habits. You have to realize that the short-term pleasure is not worth the long-term pain and the regret afterwards. I don't know about you, but for me personally, I grew up fat pretty much my whole life. And the best friend I had at the time, in like the entire world, my best friend in the entire world, was junk food. I could eat junk food pretty much no matter what time of the day because it just gave me a sense of comfort like nothing else. I didn't care if it was bad for me or not. I was so addicted to the dopamine that it gave me that I kept doing it over and over and over. Even though like almost every single time that I ate it, right, I just felt so bad afterwards, but I just kept doing it because I was addicted. My body kept getting worse and worse and worse like every single day. And I remember just one moment specifically where I struggled to even hold eye contact with myself in the mirror, because I was so ashamed of the way that my body looked. It wasn't until I felt that enough was enough, that things started to change. I just couldn't keep on eating like this every single day. Sooner or later, right, I was gonna have some health problems. So why even risk it in the first place? I had to prioritize my health over pleasure, because what was the point of me eating something that is tasting good? But at the end of eating it, I just felt bad about it and just regret afterwards. So I just put myself in this painful cycle over and over and over that just kept on going. And here's the positive thing. I quickly found out that it wasn't as complicated as I thought it would be. I didn't have to go on this 12-week diet with just salads and water every single day, literally like torturing myself. I could just stick to the same basic ingredients that I was eating, but I just prepared them in a much healthier way. Like chicken, rice, fish, potatoes, and all those things. There are so many ways to make it actually healthy and tasty at the same time. I completely changed my mindset, when it comes to food. Instead of seeing it like a diet that I was going to do for a temporary amount of time, I started to see it as a lifestyle change instead. I started to make it sustainable, but also enjoyable at the same time, so I actually could stay consistent. Instead of me trying to rush the process of completely changing everything I did on a daily basis of what I was eating, I just slowly implemented new changes. I slowly removed the junk food and the processed foods for healthier options, but I did it over a longer period of time so I actually could stay consistent. If I had a sweet tooth, I would have fruit or Greek yogurt with honey instead of candy. If I wanted to have a snack, I would have popcorn instead of the Doritos. If I wanted to drink soda, I would have the sugar-free version instead of the sugar one. Once I started to add these small changes into my life, over time, everything completely changed for me. Not only did I feel healthier, but my body just looked so much better as well. So my advice to you is to keep it simple, slowly replace the bad habits with healthier ones. And don't rush the process. Like, why are you in a hurry? See it as a lifestyle change instead. And I promise you, it will be so much easier to actually stay consistent. Now put your main focus on eating more protein in general, because number one, it will help you stay full for longer. But most importantly, number two, it helps you to build more muscle, and that's what you really want, right? So like I said earlier, don't do too much at the start, because I promise you that you will quit sooner or later because it's too overwhelming. Take your time and find out things that you like to eat, and find out ways how you can prepare them in a healthier way but still make them enjoyable, because I promise you it's not as complicated as you think it sounds. Step number 3, exercising is your friend. Exercising has become so complicated for no reason whatsoever. You keep hearing people talk about, oh, do this scientific study and do it in this 35-degree angle and do it in this optimal way for maximum gains. But it's just more confusing more than anything else. I personally have seen great results by just keeping it simple and as basic as possible. I go to the gym, and to keep my body active during the day, I just do more walking in general. You don't have to be this super athlete that is sprinting every single day. Sure, if you like doing that stuff, then just go ahead, I don't really mind. But it's not necessary if you want to make great progress to your body. This I can promise you. I got these results right here by simply going to the gym about 4 to 5 times a week and doing about 10k steps every single day. I know you might be thinking, oh, 10k steps a day sounds like a lot, but trust me, it really isn't. And there are so many ways to actually get more steps in without really thinking about it. Something as simple as taking the stairs instead of the elevator. This, if you do it on a daily basis, actually makes a big difference in the amount of steps that you take. The core principle of losing fat or weight and getting visible abs is just that you move your body more. Not only will it increase your mental health like nothing else, but trust me, it will be a night and day difference in the way that your body looks. And this is actually so much faster than you think. To make it easier for you to get started, I'll put a workout routine on the screen right now that you can copy for yourself or, get some inspiration from. These 3 things are what mainly took my body from looking like this to now looking like this. And please listen to me when I say this. Make it enjoyable for yourself, because otherwise you won't have the consistency that you need to actually get the results that you want. Now, if you want a simple step-by-step approach to getting in the best shape of your life, then click and watch this video next.